Yo, what is good with you guys? It's your boy KAG, and today I am back with another video, and in this one we are going to be talking about another theory, because what else do we got to talk about? Nintendo isn't telling us any information. We aren't getting any type of news or anything related to the Nintendo NX, and you would think they would have said something by now, but hopefully we'll get something this week. But if we don't get something this week, then I expect us to get a little bit of something on the 26th, because you know they got the investors shareholder meeting, whatever. But anyways, without any further ado, let's go ahead and let's hop into this video. So today I got to thinking about all the rumors that have been floating around for the longest of time, and I said to myself, what could all of this mean? Because you have a lot of people saying a lot of the same things, but you know, some of them conflict with each other. So you have some people saying, hey, it's going to be a home console first. You have some people saying it's going to be a handheld first. But what if, just what if, there's actually two devices, right? Now let me go ahead and explain all of this. So what if there's actually that handheld device with the detachable controllers, right? And this one is the one that uses either the dock, you know, which you know you connect to your TV in order to play on the TV, you know, like a regular traditional console. So you have that device right there, which is the one that everybody, you know, on the Nvidia side are pretty much saying is that there's gonna be a handheld device that you can dock to your TV and you can play the games on the TV, even though some people are saying that you can actually use a HDMI dongle to connect to the TV and that the dock does nothing but charge it. So that could be the case with this device, but it does play Nintendo NX games, right? So yeah, you could have that device, and what it does is you can play it on the go, you can play it at home, no matter where you are, you can play your games on this device. And you can have, you know, the removable controllers for when you are playing on the TV, which makes sense, right? Because why else would you need removable controllers if you wasn't gonna dock this to the TV, or maybe you're not docking it to the TV and you're just using HDMI dongle and you can just play straight off of that. But yeah, that was a theory that came out by Gino a long time ago. And he didn't really claim it as a theory. He said, he gave a big, huge, elaborate story on why this is the way it is and how this is a representation of former President Iwata. But yeah, that could be the case with this particular device right here. And then on the other hand, you have people saying that there is a home console, right? That there's a regular traditional home console that has like a regular controller and everything. But what they are saying is that this device right here also comes with some type of tablet type device that you can connect to it, and then when you leave the house you can take it on the go with you, right? And you can play games on the go. So maybe it's actually two separate devices. Maybe this one tablet, the actual home console version, right? Maybe there is a smaller, you know, a little smaller type device that plays like little mobile games on it, right? You can play mobile games on it, but when you come home, you know, you connect it to it and you can transfer the information that you received via like the little mobile games that you played on this device. But the actual home console aspect is much more elaborate. So maybe they have a higher frame rate, maybe it's stronger, maybe it's more graphic intense, and then you have the handheld unit, which is less graphic intense. You know, it may only do 720p, whereas the other one does 1080p. So the handheld may do 720p, 60 frames per second. The console may do, you know, 1080p, 60 frames per second, you know, while you're at home. And then it also has a little removable unit that you can take with you, and you could either like maybe stream games via Wi-Fi or something like that, or maybe it plays like little mobile games or mobile apps that also come with it, you know, that you can play. So for example, let's say you're playing the next big huge Pokemon game, right? So when you're on the go, maybe you're playing a game sort of similar to Pokemon Go, and you're collecting Pokemon and then you bring them home, and then you have all these Pokemon to add to your actual console game. Whereas on the handheld side, or Nintendo Go, shall we say, this handheld device, you could take it on the go, you could play the regular traditional console games on the go, as well as you can play like the little mobile games on the go. But when you get to the house to connect it to your TV, you're not going to get as great a graphics as you would on the traditional console. So you would have two different lanes. So for example, for those who are more about the graphics, more about having a more traditional console, they would pick up this device that has a traditional console style. It also has the, a traditional controller, as well as it may have like a little cheaper mobile unit that just plays like the little mobile games, right? And then on the other side, you have the handheld unit, which can technically play the games on the go and at home, as well as mobile, like the little mobile games, but it's not quite as strong and not quite as graphic, as intense as the home console. So you would have two separate lanes, and this could maybe explain the two separate bundles, right? So maybe the one that is like going around for $400, maybe that's the home console. And then maybe the one that is about $300, maybe that's the handheld unit. Now, why does all of this make sense? Well, if you actually take a look at the geographic of the different locations in which people play games, over in Japan, they're generally a handheld type of environment, so they generally would use handheld devices. Whereas in America, or maybe Europe or Canada, something like that, they're more of a console type, user, and so they would prefer a more traditional console. But both sides can play the exact same games. Both sides' games come on cartridges. So there's only one unit in the store. Just as Nintendo NX, it doesn't matter what you bought the cartridge for. It uses it on the handheld. It uses it on the console unit. So we'll go on either side. So, and also on a side note, for those people who want to play Nintendo games but they don't really care about the graphics, maybe they will go for the cheaper one. Maybe they'll go for the handheld unit because they know that they can still play the same games, but it's at a cheaper price. They can still play it on the TV, they can still play it on the go, but they can play it at a cheaper price because they don't really care about the graphics. Whereas maybe somebody who's more of a hardcore gamer, somebody that plays regularly all the time, they may want the console version because they'll get better graphics, better particle effects, maybe even some special features that go with the traditional console. But either side you choose, you can play the Nintendo games on either system, and that will actually increase their software sales. So you may not get as many on the hardware sales side because some of the people may buy just the console, some of the people may just buy just the handheld, and then there might be some people that buy both, but it's gonna be a smaller amount than usual. But on the side note, they would get way more software sales on both sides because, either side can play the exact same games. And so that might actually be the case of what's going on here. So come around reveal time, maybe there will actually be two devices. Both of them do the exact same thing. They both play the exact same games, but one is more casual, one is more hardcore, and maybe, just maybe, there is a supplemental computing device that comes later down in the future that can connect to both devices and increase the power of either one, so that maybe, they can be more graphic intense, or maybe, for example, maybe it just connects to the NX Go. So let's say, for example, if you bought the portable version, maybe the supplemental computing device is for that version, and you can connect it to that, and then you'll have the level quality, or the quality level of the home console. But anyways, let me know what y'all think about all this down there in the comment section. If you think this is a good idea, be sure to click that like button, and as always, if you're into anything Nintendo related, Be sure to click the like button and subscribe because that will let you know when I put out future videos. And yeah, I'm out of here. Peace.